All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is the pre-show show. So this isn't the show. That comes later. This is the pre-show show.
Do
So
you guys remember us?
yes, well, we have absolutely nobody watching according to this. So
Oh
we
well,
might not.
never mind then. Jeez.
Oh, all right. That's all right. I'm sure they'll catch up. All right. So are you ready to go, sir?
I believe so. To double check Audacity. Boom, boom. That looks good. Yeah, I think so.
Did you say what did you said?
And boom goes the dynamite.
I don't know what did I say.
You said boom, boom,
Boom, boom. Yeah.
boom, boom.
Could have been
And when
Bam
you
Bam.
say boom,
And boom goes the dynamite.
it's never not funny. It's never
Oh,
not funny.
I didn't hear it.
It says, oh, you're not hearing and boom goes the dynamite?
I didn't hear and boom goes the dynamite.
Oh, wow. Okay, hold on a second. Oh, that's why it's only doing my microphone. Hold on.
Hmm. This is why we check these things.
Well, no, it's Zoom. We were using it the last time we used it. We used it for we had a Zoom call with our friends. Hold on here. So
And boom goes the dynamite.
There it is.
there it is. All right, so there. Now, see, you get all the joy that comes
Yeah.
from our sound effects.
We'll go do that
Alrighty,
this week,
so
though.
all right. All right, let me get our doc ready so that I can read it. I told Wendy tonight, like, I should show you guys this. It's like, it's I've altered our setup a little bit.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I think after the show, I'll show you my setup before we leave.
well, I'm showing you mine, so you show me yours. See, I now have
Ooh.
one down there. Oh wait,
Uh-huh.
one monitor there, my Kindle, and then my three. So I'm like, oh no, I need four monitors now. Wendy feels I've gone too far.
It's a matter of perspective.
Yes, I personally think it's amazing, and the more monitors, the better. The more I feel like I'm on the Enterprise. All right, so I'm over the red button. Are you over the red button?
I'm over a button, and it appears to be red and circular.
Okay, so we're ready to go here then. Three, two, one, click.
Click.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the PlanesTalkers podcast, the show by casuals for casuals. I'm your host, Will Benson, joined as always by my... Seriously, I was ready to go the last 2 weeks, but you were the one who couldn't go, co-host Aramis Perez. Aramis, how are you, sir?
That's half of you, half of me, bud.
No, yeah, well, this was all me the last 2 Mondays, man. So I'm taking full credit for that. Yes, and, while we're there, then we might as well get into... All right, so it's before we do anything else, we want to remind you guys that we are sponsored by one of our favorite stores in the world. We are sponsored by Kerwin's Game Store. Kerwin's Game Store is New York State's premier source for collectible card games, tabletop games, miniatures, comic books, retro video games, and toys. With their clean, open gaming areas available to everyone at no charge someday if COVID ever decides to really get the hell out of here, Kerwin's provides a fun and inviting atmosphere for new and experienced gamers alike. With locations in both Catskill, New York, and now at the second floor... let's take that again. And now on the second floor of the Poughkeepsie Galleria in Poughkeepsie, New York, Kerwin's Game Store is the absolute best place in gaming. Now, they have a great website. You can check it out at KGS Online. That's Kite Go Samuel Online.com. And if you use the promo code at checkout, PlanesTalkers, you'll get 5% off your order, which I use to order my collector boosters. So, of Strixhaven. So, yes, absolutely. Highly recommend it. That's PlanesTalkers. Go check it out. In fact, here's the thing. A little bit of news there. So I don't know how many.
And now, breaking news.
But Steam is actually doing a test of playing online. So they are setting up an arena tournament. I do believe it's a $20 buy-in, but if you go 4-0, you get a box. If you go 3-1, you get 18. Booster packs of not Kaladesh, damn it, Kaldheim.
Oh,
Kaldheim.
Instead of artifacts, it's snow.
Yeah, yes. Instead of artifacts, it's snow, and instead of like really, really cool cards, it's really cool.
Vorinclex.
Yes, it's Vorinclex. So, but that you can find at their gear website, or you just go to their website and there's a link to it. They only have spots for 16 people. I'm signed up. Aramis, did you sign up?
I'm signed up, and when I signed up, there were still 13 slots, but that was
Yes.
a couple of days ago.
So if you want in on that, man, a 1 in 16 shot at well, actually, if you think about it, in Well, how many people could go 4-0?
Well, 8 people could win, and then if you imagine those, then 4 of those would win, and then 2 of those would win.
Right.
So probably only one person.
No, I think 2. I think more. 16 people.
Well, it goes from 8. It depends on how. If it's 4 rounds, so it'll go
Right.
16 undefeated. There'll be 8 undefeateds after round 1.
Right.
4 undefeateds after round 2. 2 undefeateds after round 3. They'll play each other.
Yeah,
And
you're
there's
right. So
the
just
one
one winner, and
undefeated.
yeah,
Yeah.
wow, that. So it is kind of like a tournament. So yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
it'll be like one person gets a box, and I think maybe 2, possibly 3 people get 18 packs.
Yeah, and I think he's also doing some door prizes and stuff too, if he can fill it out, he said. So
Right.
definitely go check that out. It's kgsonline.com is their website. Highly recommend that. We also want to take a second to recognize our Planeswalker level patrons. Brian, David, Jonathan, Johnny, Bell, Anthony, Steve, Mark, George, Josh, Zach, Ian, and Randy. These guys really do keep our show running. We couldn't do it without them. We're so thankful for them. So can't say enough thank you to you guys. I am working on a big thing for the 1 year club. We do have a few guys who have been with us from Jump, and so I'm going to get something out to them soon. I really want to thank you guys for that. You know, being a patron, you get a few things. You get a spot at the table on Wednesdays if you want at our playcast. All you need is a webcam and a commander deck, and to tell you the truth, we'll take almost anyone. But check out patreon.com/PlanesTalkers to find out all you're entitled to by joining, or just to help the show out. Really, it does. Finally, FeedSpot is a top 25. We are a top 25 MTG podcast on their website. It's a good place to go. It's blog.feedspot.com/magic_the_gathering_podcast. I do believe we're still at number 14. Finally, we want to say we are proud to be the flagship podcast for the PlanesTalkers network of podcasts. Our sister show, Commander Craft, actually started recording some episodes. They did have some more technical issues. We're going to have to get together with them. But we're going to work on that and try to get together and try to get them a little more stabilized. But they're coming soon. So make sure that you find them just anywhere you would look for the podcast. Twitch, Facebook, Carrier Pigeon, Smoke Signals. Just look up Commander Craft MTG. All right, and you can definitely do it. And those guys are heavily involved in our playcast on Wednesdays, obviously. So, and don't forget, we want to remind you to come back Wednesday night when Aramis and I are playing 2 other people in our playcast where we're playing Paper Commander. So all you need is a webcam and a commander deck. Justin, I know you have one, so I'm just saying. Anyone's
No pressure.
welcome. So just let us know, especially since it might keep Steve from playing his damn blue. Actually, I think Steve has to play this week because he didn't play last week. We only got 1 game in last week, didn't we?
Yeah, the world blew up a bunch of times, and then we really were focusing on trying to kill Valky and
And
Tibalt.
boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah,
And yeah, but it was a good game.
it was a good game.
I was the first one to die, but I actually had a lot of fun.
And of course, it's untap. And Justin, I don't work at your place anymore, so I can do this now. All right. And I'm drinking tonight one of my favorites, Elysian Space Dust.
Nice.
Yes, a lovely IPA. I do believe it's 8.2%. So bottoms up.
So we're doomed. Awesome.
So Aramis, it's been a hot minute, man. How the hell are you?
I'm employed again.
Yay! Woohoo! Yeah!
Today was actually my first day of work at my new job. Super excited about, it was orientation, so it was,
How
painful
are
for
your
me.
inner thighs? I mean, the chafing and all that. I've heard that a lot of pole dancers have issues with that, like their first day.
You would think that, but with all the Vaseline they put on the poles. No, it's been good. Obviously, I'm not going to say who I'm working for because
Right.
reasons. But it's they hooked me up with a bunch of stuff, and I got it all set up today. I got my home office is a little more crowded because there's basically a second workstation in here because I can't use any of my computers, my personal computer stuff for work and vice versa.
Right.
But I'm super excited and ready to go.
Now, I'll talk to you offline. There's a tool I use that's pretty cool. I might even just give you the access to it. It's called Synergy. What it's cool is that it lets you use your own one keyboard and mouse to control 2 different computers. So, like for you, that would be great because you could have your work and your personal computers up at the same time, and on your personal computer be watching, stuff, and then on the other one, yeah. So,
Well,
yes.
I mean, like the way that it's
we have a very important.
And now, breaking news.
Hi, Pam.
Hey, babe.
Yes.
So no, but the way that it's set up, like I literally just go like over here, and this is my other workstation. You can't see it, but it's
Wait,
over
wait,
here.
wait, wait. Do it
Right
again.
here.
Come closer. Now.
Hey.
Near. Far. Near. Far.
I'm over here.
And if any of you
Now
have
I'm
never
over here.
watched Sesame Street, you did not get that joke. And that's something you need to watch in the video. Sorry. Yes, it's been a hot minute since we've been on the air.
Yeah, we're a little jumpy.
Yes. Well, I mean, dude, the last 2 weeks, it's been weird. I have been fighting this week one, it was a stomach bug. There's nothing I could do about it. It was a flare up.
I thought you flipped your car 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wait, that was what happened. 2 weeks ago was the car spinning out of control. And yes,
In
I'm
half an
okay.
inch of snow.
I'm okay. No, that was a lot of snow up here, dude. I don't care where
Oh, that's
you
right.
were.
You're in the middle of actual nowhere.
Yeah. So there was plenty of snow, and I did spin out. I was okay, but it shook me up a bit. Last week was just flat out stomach bug / sinus, like it turned into a sinus infection over this past weekend. So I'm medicated to my hilt, but I'm healthy now and all that, and it's not COVID, so that's a plus. So.
Plus.
But otherwise, I mean, and I mean, dang it, there was magic stuff going on. So I'm excited to be back. What about you? Other than the job, anything new and exciting? Any haps?
I did some drafts.
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of casual Magic. Cursing at the sky for people who bring meta into the casual queues, but whatever. I bring my singleton deck, and they're bringing friggin' red deck wins, and it's like, all right, fine, I see how it is.
Well, some people just need to feel like they have a big.
Yeah, they need to get validation by stomping on someone like not necessarily me, but there's some like 13-year-old kid who like barely has 60 cards, and they're playing that queue, and you're running in there with like Tybalt's Trickery deck, and it's like, all right, okay.
Well, no, that's where you want a Tybalt's Trickery deck. To be fair, man, like Tybalt's Trickery is kind of jank. Like,
yeah, but it was like Tybalt's Trickery into Emergent Ultimatum into Vorinclex Ugin and something else.
Well, yeah, because it's janky. I get that. I can
yeah,
get
but
behind
these
that.
kids
That's never
going
to win competitively.
These kids don't have 50 mythic wild cards to spend on that. They might have 2 rares in their collection.
But to be fair now, okay, like, not that this is combat, but to be fair, like, that's where that stuff should happen. You can't competitively play.
No,
with,
yeah. But I mean, it could be, there should be like another, like, there should be a play queue and then like a super casual play queue where it's like, a certain percentage of rares or whatever. There should be like power levels. And some of the people roll in there with like these mono white Soul Sister life gain decks that like totally crush you in turn 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, all right.
That's something we have to add to the list. Historic Anthology.
Oh, yeah.
The announcement of that.
That's the thing.
Yeah. So I'll put that in the second area. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
But other than that, it's been good. I'm looking forward to the event that Kerwin's is running. If you haven't signed up and there's still room, go ahead, kgsonline.com. Yeah, it's give me an excuse to look at standard. I found the deck that I'm going to play. I just have to practice it.
$50 says it involves the word Sultai and control.
You're half right, but I'm not going to tell you what half.
Oh, you're the absolute worst. All right.
You are actually half right, but I'm not telling you what half you're right on.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I'm sure it's obnoxious and annoying. I was going to play mono red, but I'm thinking that's not going to be the best deck. I gotta go back to the drawing board myself and figure out.
Try Naya Adventures. That's
I was
good.
thinking about it.
The Naya Fling, whatever.
Yeah.
The one that you throw the creatures at guys.
Fling.
Yeah, but there's the one for Kazul.
Kazul. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so that's the stuff. I think that's pretty much our untapped phase. Let's let you guys know what we're going to be talking about tonight. So tonight we want to talk about, there were some announcements in the last couple of weeks. Wow, I'm already slurring, jeepers. About changes coming to Magic. We're going to talk about Universe Beyond. We're going to talk about Wizards spinning off into their own division and what that could possibly mean. Combat is going to be about Universe Beyond. We just all kind of feel like that's a thing. And then main 2, State of Standard, talk about all new decks and things going on. And hold on a second. All right. Main 2, we're going to talk about some of the new decks going on, things about that. And then we'll discuss Historic Anthology 4, maybe even talk a little bit about the Playcast League that's been going on. So that's going to be our show tonight. Why don't we get right into the main phase?
Main phase.
All right, main phase. So last week, or might have been 2 weeks ago now. I think it was I think it was like 10 days ago.
Something like that.
There was the big call from Wizards where they kind of talked about their profitability and stuff, and Hasbro call. And they talked about a lot of the changes they want to do with, Wizards and stuff, because basically what happened was Wizards is making a boatload of money. Like, it's
more
doing
than the rest
well.
of their entire game division, I think it was.
Yes. So basically with Arena, it's mainly Arena and some of it's Commander.
Literally printing money.
Yeah. So they're talking about it, and the first thing that they kind of announced is they're going to spin Wizards off into its own division. It's still going to be under the Hasbro banner, which I'm like, it wasn't already, but apparently this is a big deal.
So the way that kind of works, when it was what it was before, like a subsidiary, they had a little bit more autonomy as to what they could do.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's the reverse. They didn't have quite as much autonomy. Now that they're a division, they have somewhat more autonomy.
Okay.
To do what they sort of want to, but now there's fewer bosses that they report to, but the bosses they do report to have more power.
Right.
Because they're a bigger deal now. They've become a little bit bigger, which on one hand is great. On the other hand, could be troubling because they're more corporate than they were before.
Right. And that's,
I guess it's the way to say it, but I mean, it could be read a couple different ways depending on how exactly they're structured.
And we've been talking about that for weeks now, about like corporate and what it means and things of that nature. Oh wow, Justin's in the chat. I didn't realize that. And yeah, that's a big deal. When the suits get involved and profit happens, things can go sideways. And all of a sudden you have cards like Oko being printed. Like, a lot of people I've heard are kind of blaming that type of stuff here. The power ramp and the power level being amped up, was meant to kind of get them here.
Right.
Now, nobody knows that for sure. It's a bunch of people kind of talking into their hat. Because I don't think anybody can know. That's corporate information. That's private corporate information. It's literally what it's for.
Yeah.
So how the hell can they know? How the hell can we know? You can't. That being said, yeah, I mean, this is a little bit scary in that, when I don't think there's been an example throughout history where when corporate America takes notice of something that's kind of cool and indie and kind of like, its own thing, like the minute corporate America gets involved, like, it just goes to hell. And it becomes something without any soul. Rock and roll is a prime example. Like, look at rock and roll of the 50s and 60s and look at rock and roll of the late 70s, early 80s. Things of that nature. The minute the music industry became the music industry, things went sideways and artists started finding themselves having to sell out more and things of that nature. And yeah, it's tough. And it's scary to see that happening. And I mean, independent cinema is another one. The minute Miramax became, a subsidiary of Disney, shit went sideways. It's a scary, scary thing, I think. What about you? What's on you?
Well, I mean, Wizards has been under the control of Hasbro for a good long while now. So, I mean, it's not a new thing that they have corporate overlords and they're worried about shareholders and profit margins, quarterly statements and things of that nature. Things that are actually up my alley.
Right.
But them moving to become a division, I mean, on the one hand, that's great news for Wizards. That means Wizards of the Coast is doing fantastically.
Yes.
Speaking of, have you seen their new logo?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
No, honestly.
It's about as generic as it, and that's the one thing that tells you when somebody's gone corporate, their logo gets generic. It gets like very cookie cutter, copy paste. They throw a little lens flare in there for effect. But I mean, where's the shooting star? That was the best part of their logo, was that little shooting star.
I mean, let me see if I can bring this up on the screen so that people can see it. Because all I could think of, and I understand that this means that
It looks like the title of a movie. It looks like a movie poster screen.
I could tell you exactly what it looks like. Hold on.
While you dig for that, I'll basically just say, it's good for them that they're doing well enough that Hasbro says, here, you can have your own division.
Right.
But at the same time, it means that they're, like I said before, they're more corporate than they were before. So that could be bad. It could be good. It's going to depend on which people are actually calling the shots. Here's a hint: it's never been Mark Rosewater, and it never will. But
which I can live with.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But the first big announcement that they came out with as the new division, which we're going to be talking about here in a minute, yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that, because I'll just bury the lead a little bit from my perspective. I hate it.
Right. I can't blame you for hating it. I'm not
Maybe
a big
hate's
fan
too strong
either.
of a word, but I don't understand it, I guess.
So this is the logo for. Hold on, let me see here. Oh, I know what's going on. I'll fix this later, but I'll fix this in post. That's what's going on. Is I have.
Yeah, technical wizardry behind the scenes here at the PlanesTalkers podcast.
So as you can see here on the screen, all right, this is the logo for Spider-Man and his amazing friends. This is the logo for, where'd it go? Damn it. This is not fun. I can't believe I didn't think this was going to happen though. And this is the logo for Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
Spider-Man and his amazing friends. Wizards of the Coast. Are you seeing it? Like
I'm not, but I've looked at the logo enough to be like,
when I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 1980.
Meh.
And by the
Well,
way, Spider-Man and
very...
his amazing friends, 1982.
I mean, it looks like with the way that they have like that ray of light coming out of the A, and like the way that everything's gradienting to the darker shade. Like I said, it sort of looks like something you'd see out of a movie poster. Wizards of the Coast. Yeah. They came ashore summer 2022.
Yeah, it's just it's a little too corporate for me. And again, I'm not I'm a capitalist. Like, make money. I get it. As long as you're making money off Magic will be around. However, I mean, the fact that they really cited Arena and not so much paper, how could you during a pandemic? Okay.
Like, yeah, and that makes perfect sense.
Right. But I mean, there's this part of me too that's like, oh, what does this mean for paper? Like, the fear has always been from all of us, I think, what happens, to paper as Arena gets bigger.
I would sprinkle a generous amount of salt on that right now, only because, again, pandemic is such a thing,
right,
that it really skews everybody's numbers a certain direction.
Absolutely.
Because of the way things have been going on. So look 5 years from now and we'll see what happens.
Right. So, I mean, that's the big thing there. They have a new logo. And by the way, I have a friend who we may interview. She just graduated law school. She's someone I knew from back home who moved to Illinois with her new husband. Just graduated law school. Just got hired by Wizards as a lawyer. Ooh. I know. I'm like, ooh. I want to interview you. Whatever we got to do. I'm like, see if we can get some like secret tea or something. So, also just an incredibly cool gamer chick. So she'll dig it.
It'll be good to get that perspective as a lawyer and a gamer working for Wizards.
Right. Well, honey, I would interview you, but you gave up on Magic because Atraxa beat me.
Because you committed a war crime against her.
So let's move off of that, though. The other big news that came from this is they then started to talk about next year and more, and we all saw this coming after Walking Dead, of expanding outside of Magic and using what they're calling Universe Beyond, which again just has corporate synergy name behind. Like somebody's sitting in an office somewhere going, it's like they're going to universes beyond their own. Universe Beyond! That's it! It's like...
Trademark that right now.
Yeah. So I drink.
I mean, so obviously this happened. They announced this on February 25th.
Right,
so
a week and a half ago.
A week and a half ago. almost 2 weeks ago. Um, so we obviously haven't had a chance to talk about it. Everybody else under the sun has talked about it,
Right.
but we kind of have to talk
Yeah,
about it
we
because
can't.
this is huge.
Yeah. Plus, no new news. Wow, that was tough. No new news
No
has
new
come
news.
out in the past few weeks. So screw it.
Yep,
You're
yep.
getting it. Yeah. So here's what's going on. It's basically they've announced that within the next year or a year and a half or whatever. First of all, Warhammer 40K is going to be coming mainly to Commander. If you don't know what Warhammer is, it's basically models and D&D, and I don't even know what the hell
Yeah,
Warhammer is.
it's like a strategy game. You have to you have different units.
Yeah.
It's like military base. You have to like measure distances.
It's like playing Warcraft or Starcraft, but not on a computer using just models that you paint.
Basically, yeah, that's a pretty close analogy. But instead of the computer doing the measuring and damage calculations for you, you have to do all that stuff. So, in that respect, I mean, I can totally relate and respect people who play and are really into Warhammer because it's sort of like how Magic. You're like, oh
Yeah.
well, it's like chess and this,
It's
but then you
nerd
get
stuff,
into the
yes.
details and you're like, holy crap, there's a lot that goes on.
Plus, you get to paint your own things, and you get to make
That
it
which
your
is
own. Yeah.
and some people have some amazing figures. I've never
They
played
really do.
Warhammer. I mean, I dabbled in BattleTech a little bit when I was a kid, but this it looks like an entertaining game, but I ain't got the budget or the time for that.
Yeah. Dude, seriously, we're already in a cardboard crack. But they're going to use Warhammer for Commander. I don't think it's going to be this next. Is it this next Commander set? The big set?
No, the next set of Commander decks coming out are Strixhaven.
No, but I mean like the big 5-deck set.
That's Strixhaven.
Oh, is it? Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Strixhaven's going to have 5.
Interesting. Okay, so this will be again probably 2022. And then they're going to work, and now I'm assuming that also has to be 2022. Is Lord of the Rings. Now, here's the thing. Okay, yes, it all kind of goes hand in hand. Lord of the Rings, I mean, you don't have Magic the Gathering without Lord of the Rings. You just don't. I get it. And you know what? Elves would be great. You got to figure Elves is going to be a deck.
Dwarves.
Wizards are going to be a deck. Warriors, orcs. Yeah. I mean, it's humans. They'll probably be a great human deck. I get it. All right, you got to figure. I mean, but hobbits, like, isn't there a creature already that was kind of hobbitish?
Kithkin.
Huh?
Kithkin.
Yitkin. So
the Kithkin, yeah.
It's this will get us into combat at some point, but I have feelings on this.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. When I first heard it, I was like, all right, yeah, this is cool. And then I started to think about it. And I started to think a little more about it. And then I got sidetracked, so I stopped thinking about it. But then I started thinking about it again when I was done being sidetracked. And yeah,
no.
I'm a little concerned. I got to be honest with you. This is probably more corporate stuff. I get why other people, I get why a Lord of the Rings set would be good. I can understand it. I can lore it in my head.
You can grok it.
Yeah, but
Warhammer?
No, even Warhammer. I mean, they all kind of sit in the same boat. Like the D&D set coming up. I ain't got no problem with that.
Yeah.
But I just look, Magic is a great product. Magic is its own product, and it's good enough, but it seems like we're kind of like we're going to bring Lord of the Rings characters in, and we're going to bring Warhammer stuff into Magic, when in actuality, why the hell isn't Warhammer bringing Nissa in? Why the hell isn't Warhammer, like Lord of the Rings, okay, I understand that, but if Lord of the Rings had an online role-playing game or anything like that,
they do.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not bringing, Jason there. Like, it's almost like Wizards or Hasbro is saying, basically, like, our product's not good enough to really be expansive to the level we want it, so we're going to bring this other stuff in. And I guess maybe this does take us right to combat, but let's do it just so we're being honest here.
Combat phase.
I feel that this is a mistake. I think that this is a misstep. I mean, where does the line get drawn? Am I going to be playing Green Lantern, for 3 green mana and a white? I mean, like, where is the line going to get drawn? Do I have a Spider-Man card coming my way?
You're not that far off, I don't think. There was before this stuff was announced. I think this was after the D&D set was announced. The Cardboard Crack comic put out an episode or an issue where the two guys are playing Magic, and the one guy says, "Okay, I cast Iron Man to do this," and he says, "Well, I counter with Bilbo Baggins, and I use this guy uses his repulsor ray. Then the Iron Giant comes in, and then da 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 da." And the girl comes and says, "What are you guys doing?" They're like, "We're playing Magic, obviously." And we're here now.
Yeah.
I mean, Gandalf the Grey is going to be a card.
Of course he is, and he should.
Yeah, but it's like, here's a couple of the problems that I have with Universe Beyond. One, obviously the D&D set should have been Universe Beyond now that they've announced this.
Yes,
in retrospect,
absolutely.
because it's a separate universe. Magic is its own entity. I understand that it's a multiverse, and if you look at the theory of multiverses, obviously all possibilities are possible. Like, our universe technically exists in the Magic multiverse. It's just nobody's planeswalked over here yet,
right,
and grabbed stuff.
But that'll come.
Yeah.
I play Hollywood Boulevard. Yeah, I mean,
God.
just
yeah. So
yeah, this might not be combat.
Magic
I don't think either of us are gonna fight
we
each
agree.
other.
We agree on this. We think this. I think this is a huge mistake too, because think about this. Yes, Arabian Nights exists. There is Alibaba, Ali from Cairo, Library of Alexandria, real world places, real world stories put into Magic's universe. And they sort of retconned it into its own plane called Arabia. Original. But Magic was a different game back then than it is now. Doing this now smacks of a sellout. Yeah. And it's not necessarily that. I'm not going to go so far as to call it that. I'm just saying it has that look. And Magic's always been able to do its own spin on things. I mean, Innistrad was its own spin on goth horror,
right,
vampires, werewolves. They
even Kaldheim is Norse.
The Eldrazi is Cthulhu. It's cosmic horror.
Right.
Eldraine is old school King Arthur and fairy tales. They have a Lady of the Lake, but it's the Lady of the Loch. They have Excalibur. It's Embercleave. So they have their own versions of these things that they put their own spin on it, and it makes it Magic's flavor. It's like when somebody covers a song, but they do it in a way that makes it their own. Like when Disturbed covered Sound of Silence, they made it their own version of the song. It's a different song.
Or Sarah Bareilles. Oh my God, she did this version of an Elton John tune. Yellow Brick Road. If you ain't heard it, trust me, find it. Like,
yeah, there's people out there who cover songs from other artists, and you're like, holy, this, like, I wouldn't have known A, that this was the other song, and then B, wow, this is amazing.
Right.
Magic does that with other properties, especially if they're open source, or there's not like copyright issues. But I have a little bit of a problem with Bilbo Baggins showing up with the One Ring in the Wrath, like the Plane of Wrath, or
it's
Phyrexia.
One thing if they're going to do it the way they did Godzilla and Ikoria. All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, if you're going to skin another card, that's fine. But if you're going to put hobbits in this thing, like, this means that hobbits are only going to be for this one set. So you can't have a Hobbit commander deck. Like, you can't, unless it's a precon. The fact is, it's just,
you'd have to do hobbits and changelings.
And then you've got to figure it's going to move toward, like, this will come. Star Wars will come. Mm-hmm. There will be a Star Wars set.
Wheel of Time will probably come.
Well, maybe, because here's the thing. Everybody's like Marvel and Star Wars. I'm like, yeah, Disney, though, they don't like to play with others. DC, I could see. I could see Harry Potter. Harry Potter's owned by Warner Brothers.
Well, here's the thing. Strixhaven is sort of Magic's take on the whole Harry Potter magical school trope, but it's not Harry Potter.
Right.
What we've seen so far,
they're not schools. They're not houses. They're colleges.
They're not houses. They're colleges, and it's just what we've seen so far. It's not Harry Potter. The big fear that some people had about Strixhaven doesn't appear to be coming to pass. It's Magic's version of that type of world, but it's not that world.
Right.
So we won't get an actual Harry Potter set because technically it's already been done.
No, actually, no. Please.
And plus,
if there's
plus
money in it, they'll
the
do it.
yeah, but the ramifications of directly copying that from that author
Yes,
with
because-
the problems that she has.
This is me slapping my vein because I'm sorry. Okay, if I'm going to sit there and say that there would be repercussions where we're going to make them pay for it in a wallet, we never have. Okay, the double master VIP sets sold out. We're all angry, but they sold out.
It's a different kind of anger. I'm
I
talking
know.
about the anger about transphobic comments and
Oh yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's why Harry Potter's not going to happen in Magic anytime soon. If
Well,
ever.
I think you could separate Harry Potter from J.K. Rowling. I don't think you need to use. I mean, and for those of you that don't know, J.K. Rowling, wonderful author, wonderful, made this really great world. Kind of a garbage person.
Terrible person. Great story, terrible person. The
Yeah.
problem will be most of the consumer base, I believe, wouldn't be able to separate the two. And I have no problem with people not
You're
being able to
probably
separate
right
the two.
because a lot. If you think about it, we have some non-cis trans people who are playing Magic. Autumn Burchett jumps to mind. So yeah.
Yeah, very high profile, and it would be an extremely bad look for the now division of Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
But it's going to get to that point where there's all these IPs coming in. It's going to be like Super Smash Brothers, but Magic the Gathering.
Well, that's just it. Now I'm worried. Here's what I'm really worried about, okay? Because Hasbro is going to take more of an interest in this, okay? Do you know what else Hasbro took very interest in a game that was very successful? And this is where I'm kind of concerned. And by the way, this isn't me. I listened to MTG Goldfish. They talked about it last week, but I couldn't agree more. Think about this. Hasbro did not always own Monopoly. Parker Brothers did.
Mhm.
But then all of a sudden Hasbro acquired Parker Brothers. Now, how many Monopoly games are there? How many themed versions of Monopoly are there? And every time dilutes the original. Almost, every household I know has at least one copy of the original Monopoly, yes. But yet they also have, we have two here. It's like, I think we have Wizard of Oz Monopoly of all things. There are many out there.
Mhm.
That's my fear, is that all of a sudden Magic's going to become this version of Monopoly where you want to play Lord of the Rings Magic? Here you go. And again, some people are like, well, look at what Catan does. And it doesn't dilute Catan. It doesn't dilute Catan. I do say it does dilute Monopoly. And I'm sorry, but Hasbro is an evil empire.
There is that risk. They've crossed a certain line now that we know that. Unless they confirm otherwise, Drizzt Do'Urden is going to be a legendary creature in the Forgotten Realms set.
Yep.
That he's got his two swords will probably be artifact equipments. I wouldn't be surprised if they were. All those different stories and characters in there. The Knight of the Black Rose might be in there as a legend. So we've already crossed the line with that. We've crossed another line with Universe Beyond. It's only going to be a matter of time until they have, all the lines crossed. It's just I understand the idea of trying to broaden the game to more people. I know that's what they said that they're trying to do. They want to get more people to play the game, and they're like, well, what better way than to play,
characters Yes.
You can play Legolas in your commander deck. Okay, that's fine. And they're making it so that they have the special stamp that the Walking Dead ones, the triangular ones, so they're not part of the regular universe yet. But they're going to be Legacy and Commander legal. So,
here's the thing.
like you were saying, if they skin them like they skin the Godzilla cards, I would be totally 100% fine with this.
Right, but when they're making unique cards that are uniquely playable and uniquely... Here's the thing. Don't get me wrong, okay? Do you see any Rick decks out there? Any Negan decks? Nobody's playing.
Yeah, they're being played in Commander. They have... They're a niche card in Legacy Humans. They're not game breaking by any means, but the potential was there.
Right, and
the risk was there, and
it's
that's
still there.
And that's too much. That's too much to really accept until they print. And here's the thing: if they ever printed normal quote unquote Magic cards with those abilities, they'd have to Godzilla skin them in the reverse.
Yep.
To where it's still Rick, Steadfast Leader, but now it's some other mono white legend that loves humans.
Steadfast Follower.
Yeah, something like that. So it's It should have been something, and it is technically optional. You don't have to buy these, but then if they're any good, yes, you do.
Yeah, and that's just it. It's not like they're coming out as secret layers. These are going to be sets.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it sounds to me like I could see the Lord of the Rings set being the not core set of 2022.
It's going to be a supplemental set.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, you know, draftable.
No, I mean it'll be core. It'll be standard legal. It'll be, but like
no, they've already said these cards will not be standard legal.
Okay, well that'll be nice.
So it's going to be a supplemental set. So it's either going to take the place of like the Masters set or some other complementary sets that they do during the year. One of the 17 sets they release,
Right.
but it'll be draftable, I imagine. And if it's isolated in that experience, okay.
Yeah.
But the fact that there might be cards that become legacy or commander staples, that's where you're going to run
And
into
they're
problems.
saying it's not standard legal now.
Now, yeah, because of the different foil stamping, but
Because
it's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time. And that's
Yeah.
just it. 2022 gives them enough time. I could see them saying, no, the Lord of the Rings is too big of a property. It needs to be standard legal. I could see it happening.
And here's the thing too. If they think this is going to be big enough, what's to stop them from saying this Lord of the Rings set is simply the Fellowship of the Ring? That's going to have its own expansion for the Two Towers, and then have its own expansion for Return of the King. And then, oh wait, by the way, we have 2 prequel sets coming out for The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, all that stuff. There's nothing that would stop them from doing that if this is at all successful, which, spoiler alert, it will sell out.
Yeah.
It will sell out. Will I buy any of this?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah, me too.
Because, we're hooked on the game, and if the cards are any good, we're going to have to.
I'm not a fantasy guy. Like, I admit this, okay? Yeah, I'll do D&D and stuff. I liked Lord of the Rings. I've seen all the movies. I saw all the extended editions. They're great. I saw them twice, I think. That's it. I don't have any real desire to see them again.
Well, it also takes you 2 years to watch one movie.
Right. But, so, yeah, you make a Lord of the Rings set. I'll probably still buy it just because I'm a completist and things like that. Mm-hmm. Now, if you make a Star Wars set, motherfucker, I'll have like the collector's edition, the set booster, the main booster, the foil stamped sheet. It doesn't matter. I want myself that Darth Vader, the Star Wars.
I just wish they printed them like they did the Godzilla cards. I don't see any reason not to. Like you could print a normal version of the set, make the other one show up in collector boosters because those will sell. There's like the only way you can get a foil alternate art Darth Vader card is to buy the collector booster Star Wars set. No, otherwise it's a regular card,
College.
Yeah, it's some regular booster product where it's Darth Vader, but it's a different name, and then they reskin it for the collector booster as Darth Vader, but it's actually this other card. But you can have it as your, you can have it in your deck, whatever format, it's fine. But it's a real. I hate having to do real Magic card because I feel that feels kind of elitist. But
you're an elitist. Let's be honest.
It's a normal card. You don't have to worry about cross IP, cross universe stuff being the norm instead of a special bonus. And that's the problem I have with it. It should just be a special bonus, not the norm.
And I don't think it's going to happen. Scuba, we play on Wednesdays. We'd love to have you, man. You're more than welcome. So that's kind of our combat. I mean, it wasn't much of a combat. We're both in the mind that this is not a.
We're terrified.
This is not a good. I mean, it's a good thing. It's not a horrible thing. It's just a scary thing. And again,
it's another thing that they could have done better.
Right. So we'll see what happens. But let's go back to Maine here. We got some things to go over.
Main phase.
All right. So Maine 2, this is where we tend to talk about State of Standard. There's quite a bit of movement. Standard's a little bit of all right now. Nothing too outrageous. Up till this morning, Mono Red Aggro was kind of leading the pack, but we've had a change even just today. We do have some new decks out there. Obviously, Naya Adventures is still a deck. But the big ones that I'm seeing out there right now, there's 2. Well, Teamer Ramp, which is kind of an updated version of Ramp, living off the Genesis Ultimatum and, using Obosh as a companion. And which is funny, they're still using like if we had this bet now, you'd totally win.
Yeah.
Because
It,
I mean, there's
you know what
two
though? It is,
companion decks in top 5.
and it's nice. It's nice to see that despite the massive nerf, and I mean, this is like the biggest nerf in the history of the game.
Yes.
I mean, this is they took like one of the biggest nerf bats and just actually beat them into the ground with it, like Negan did
Yes.
to Glenn.
Wow, little soon for that, man. It's only been 5 years.
But the fact that the companions are still playable and not broken, they're just
Right.
good.
And I
love
think
that.
they're just cards that sit in the background. I mean, and the other main deck that I'm seeing right now is Sultai Control, which is really Yorion. Which, you know, Yorion wasn't being used in Sultai Control. It was being used in more Azorius / you know,
Or Bant,
Band Control, but really they're like, hey, it's hybrid mana, so we can use blue.
basically blue, yeah.
And that deck's scary. First of all, the ultimatums are freaking, man, like people are finally figuring out what to do with the ultimatums. And it's not pretty.
Well, I mean, I
unless
think
you're playing
especially especially Emergent Ultimatum, the difference now is that there's a lot of really good stuff you can dig for.
Yeah, Emergent Ultimatum is the thing that's kind of breaking a lot of things. First of all, the fact that you can pull, you know, Emergent Ultimatum lets you pull
3 monocolored cards.
Right, 3 monocolored cards, and then an opponent chooses any one of those cards, and that's the one you shuffle back. So you go get Valky, which is a black card, but really it's Tybalt, which again I feel is wrong because if you're doing monocolored, again they're screwing it up. And Vorinclex is, you know, and then Kioribus the Sea God. Well, holy shit. Which one do you choose? This is Sophie's choice. Do I want an 8/8 sea monster and a 6/6 hasty trample jerky thing?
Which, by the way, because they come into play at the same time, means you get an 8/8 hexproof, 6/6 trample haste. Oh, and all of your stuff is tapped.
Right. Because here's the thing. You never go with Valky because Tybalt comes in ultimated. So, yeah. It's... I've been playing a lot of standard lately with mono red. Best of one because, you know, I'm playing it various times. And, you know, I faced this deck, and I think my win rate against this deck, I think I'm only at 60%. Because it's all a matter of, and you don't know you're playing this deck, and it's all a matter of making sure that I keep keeping a curvy deck, a curvy hand. If I'm not keeping Fervent Champion, followed by a Robber of the Rich, followed by either an Annex or Bone Crusher, I'm dead. You know, unless I could put some serious... You get to charge 6 on that deck, I'm dead, man. There ain't no way.
You know, that I'm looking at the current meta on Goldfish, and surprised to me, and part of me is actually glad to see it back. It's tied for 4th most played deck in the meta is Jeskai Cycling.
Yeah, Jeskai Cycling's still a deck.
It's like it just kind of reemerged and said, "Hey guys, I'm still viable here."
Well, people realize Riel is actually broken.
Riel is so good.
Like, this was not in the cycling deck, and then somebody put it in the cycling deck, and they're like,
"Oh yeah, this is disgusting."
I mean, Mono White Aggro 2 weeks ago came out pretty huge in the in quite a few things, and that's a pretty good deck. It can't. People already figured it out. Again, Sultai Control is just because.
Well, it's because the Mono White deck can't deal with Archon of Absolution.
No, it can't. And the Mono White deck cannot deal with it. It's just Temur Ramp is a standard ramp deck, but I mean, here's the thing: standard is actually good again. Like, there is nothing that's really overly busted. Don't get me wrong; every deck is using Eldraine cards like it's their job.
I mean, Eldraine was the most powerful set since Saga. You know,
like the minute Eldraine leaves, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
That will be very interesting to see. I mean, it's just there's so much busted stuff in Eldraine.
Yeah, I mean, just to not have adventures. Hey, Nick. To not have adventures. I think rogues will be going back to the top of the meta. But and I mean, here's the thing. The one thing about rogues is that Rogues does die to mono red aggro pretty regularly. The mono red deck I've been playing, I've played Rogues, and I think I'm 80% because sure, mill me out. Mill out my Phoenix of Ash if you don't mind. So, what do you think? I mean, is there any other surprises in like the top 10? And yes, we're looking at MTG Goldfish, guys. So,
I mean, I don't think there's anything so much surprising. I think, and we've been saying this for a while now, Standard is in the best place it's been in at least the last year and change.
Right.
Since before Eldraine came in.
Well, I'm going to say since Eldraine came in, Oko broke everything.
Well, yeah, but like since before that,
Yeah.
because I mean they've banned about half the set since then. But Standard is finally in the spot where it's supposed to be, where you can bring pretty much what you want and have a chance.
Mhm.
The unfortunate thing is that you're only playing in Arena, which is more competitive, more cutthroat, and harder to succeed in. If you were going to Friday Night Magics, you'd be having a blast, I think,
Yeah.
with this. And I think that's part of the problem that Arena has, is that because there's no interaction, even though you're playing against another person, it doesn't really feel like it. So you lose out on a lot of what makes regular low-key tournaments at your local game store so much fun, where you can roll in with whatever deck you want, you can crush them or get crushed, but you're generally going to have a great time. Whereas you do this in Arena, you get salty because you're going to blame the shuffler
I
because you
miss
kept a
Friday
two-land
Night
hand and
Magic.
not draw anything. You're going to
Yep.
say, oh well, great, I have to play against Brian Kibler this round, this is fantastic.
Well, or even it's like playing on Arena too. It's like there are certain things to think about. Like, okay, playing mono red, I'll keep a 2-land hand in paper. I'll be like, yeah, I can keep a 2-land hand. I'll probably draw one, no problem. Keeping a 2-land hand in Arena, we all know about the coding issues there.
You go back.
Yeah, I mean, you're not seeing a third land. You better damn well make sure that you have, two Robbers of the Rich, 2 Bone Crusher Giants, and a Fervent Champion. Otherwise,
You need
you're
the robbers
dead.
to steal their lands.
Yeah.
Although I don't think you can play with the robber. Yeah.
Things that are fun, weird to me. I'm surprised that Rakdos midrange fell as far as it did. I thought Rakdos really got some great toys in this set, in Kaldheim, but I think it's tough to beat that control deck. I mean, if you're playing Rakdos midrange, you tend to be a control-y type player anyway, and Sultai control, again, it's hard to get over that.
Right.
And again, I was surprised to see cycling back in the top 5. And I'm surprised to see mono green midrange go down as far as it did. Vorinclex is just stupid. And
Vorinclex is an extremely good card, but I think it really only fits in, again, you have to be able to exploit either the counter abilities or just the fact that he's a big trampler.
Yeah. So, and again, I mean, obviously, cycling is living and dying by Zenith Flare. Cycle, Zenith Flare for 20.
Well, it also has, it also just values you out because you're always going to have a full grip with cycling, and Flourishing Fox can get very big very fast.
Right. So, Standard, again, is in a very good place. We're kind of very excited for it. I'm enjoying it. I'm playing it a little bit. I've got to start playing best of 3 again to get my deck up to speed as far as what I'm going to play for the tournament in 2 weeks. Yeah, I miss Friday Night Magic too. Yeah. I miss playing paper. I miss going and sitting at a table.
Go get your vaccine, folks, once you can. As soon as you're able to, get your vaccine. We need Friday Night Magic to come back.
So the other big thing that came out that we're going to talk about here before we close up the show is anthologies. They're getting a historic Anthology 4 is coming out. So I think it's coming March 11th.
Yeah, March 11th. So
which
this
is in 3 days. So
yep. So Thursday.
So, and there's some pretty interesting things that we're getting some juicy additions to White, they said.
Ignored all besides Death Shadow, honestly.
It's pretty much, yeah. Well, getting Sword of Body and Mind is kind of good.
Bone Splitter's nice.
Oh,
there's some good cards coming out, but I mean, Death Shadow just blows all that away.
Well,
because that deck's going to show up very quickly. People are going to try to break that card again because it's good.
Well, the fact they're putting Abomination of Llanowar in, I'm kind of, I think elves are going to be something again, and that's a great card for and Collected Conjuring. Give me a break,
Mhm.
But yes, Death Shadow is just
Harmless Offering is going to be interesting because that's a fun card to try to break. Like, oh, look at this thing that hurts me so much. Why don't you try it?
I mean, I'm kind of surprised that they're using Ixalan and Amonkhet. Like, I'm like, if you wanted this in the set, like Flame
Yeah,
Blade
why not?
Adept or Faith of the Devoted, why the
Why
hell
wasn't
didn't you
it?
just put them in the anthologies for that?
Yeah, why are all these Kaladesh and Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation cards in this and not in the remastered sets to begin with? I'm pretty sure you could have found spots. There's a couple of Kaladesh cards in here that
Yeah,
probably belonged in Kaladesh
Flame Blade Adept
remastered.
would be the one I would think of. Like that was an
Inspiring
actually decent
Statuary.
one.
Why wasn't
Yeah,
that in there?
Torment of Scarabs, which is Ixalan, but
Amit Eternal.
yeah. I mean,
I mean,
it's just
half of the cards in this anthology, pretty much, it feels like, are from either Amonkhet, Kaladesh, or Hour of Devastation.
Inspiring Statuary. It's going to be interesting. I mean, I'll play it. I will definitely get some. So I'll order the set.
Yeah,
But
I'll probably pick it up with wild cards at some point.
yeah. So, but that's kind of what's coming on that. So that's coming out this week. So Historic's going to get a little shot in the arm.
Yeah.
I am a little, like I said, I'm a little disappointed that they're doing, like, I see some Ixalan cards in there, which is good. Or not Ixalan, Innistrad.
Yeah.
And I like seeing some of the commander type cards that they put out, like, Triumphant Reckoning and things. But it's like Adorned Pouncer. I thought that was already in there. Adorned Pouncer's not in?
Yeah, they
That
didn't
should have
include that in
absolutely
Amonkhet
been in
Remastered.
there. Because that's also a cat deck.
No, they didn't have that, and they had Regal Caracol as like the buy a box card, and it's like,
Yeah, I just used wild cards for that because Regal Caracol's a great card.
yeah, and Adorn Pouncer is, that's a great early drop for a white deck, but it's just, yeah, their card choices this time around are a little bit curious, not necessarily bad, just curious, especially with the timing of other remastered sets that have just come out.
Yeah, it's almost like
So-
they were kind of like, we have to get something out, and we know that these are already coded. Because again, guys, don't forget, the original beta for Arena had Amonkhet, Hours of Devastation, and Kaladesh in it. These were coded already.
Yep.
Like, they have done no coding. They're not getting us any closer to Pioneer, really, except for some of these Innistrad cards. But again, those were
That should be
already
coming at some
coded
point.
as well.
Yeah, those were in the alpha, right?
Yeah, Eldritch Moon was alpha, yeah.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
It's more cardboard. We'll buy it.
Whatevs. Well, paper cardboard or fake cardboard.
Digital cardboard that we
Digital
have no
cardboard,
rights
yes.
to whatsoever. The second they turn off the lights, we lose everything.
Right. So, nothing's going on in the chat. Carrie Weaver said anything would be good in Kithril Aspect Warper. I have no idea what any of those words mean. And Aramis is looking it up because he doesn't either.
I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up now.
Right. So go ahead and do that. But, take a look at that. But, yes, we want to remind you guys about Wednesday, too. Don't forget.
Oh, it's one of the commanders.
Oh, yeah. I actually have that.
You have that deck, Cathril. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I have her.
Duh.
But
Listen, I've had a long day.
Wednesday's going to be a lot of fun, so make sure you tune in. It's going to be week 3 of our league. I think, did Anthony pull ahead now?
Anthony, I believe, pulled ahead. Let me just pull that up real fast.
I'm in second, though.
You are in second place, I believe, but only by a point. Yeah, Anthony pulled ahead with 19 points because of his strong showing on last Wednesday by killing 2 players, killing someone with commander damage, and also winning the game.
Right.
So he's at 19 points. You are in second place with 17 points. I have 13 points. Nick has 8 points. Steve has 4 points. And anybody else who wants to join and get some points.
Yeah, so Scuba, you're more than welcome to join us this week. We'll make Anthony sit out because we made Steve sit out last week.
He has to. Anthony has to play because he won.
Oh, that's right. So we might have to make Steve sit out another week. Oh!
You just don't want to play against that deck.
Because he has such a mad-on for me.
Yeah, you are in his crosshairs big time.
No, Aramis doesn't sit out. Aramis and I are the hosts of the show. That's a rule I came up with. It's Aramis and I are always... in Whose Line Is It Anyway, Colin and Ryan are always on stage. Wayne and the other 2 guys, they rotate in and out. But, you go with your money. And right here, where the money. That's right. Also because I do the broadcasting, otherwise I'd be willing to sit. But
I mean, it's more feasible that I could sit
Yeah.
out and just keep score for a
Yeah.
game, but I generally have
yeah,
to
but
watch
I
this
do feel like since it's a Planestalkers playcast and you are the Planestalker host, that
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, every now and then on game
Yeah.
nights, either Jimmy or Josh aren't there,
true.
but it's always one of them.
Yes. And what I'll probably do is I might make it this week so that instead of using Spell Tables audio, I may set it up in Discord so that we can have Steve pop in and, maybe Nick or some, other guys can kibitz and watch. And, we'll still use Spell Table to stream,
Mhm.
but be using Discord for audio so that, we can kind of have a little fun with that. So,
Yeah.
All right. So we might as well get to it. Let's go to End Step.
End step.
So while Aramis and I are picking up our cards and putting them in the boxes, rolling up our play mats, and taking the pizza boxes over to the garbage because, damn it, your mother still does not work in this game store. Not that we've been to a game store. We want to remind you guys that we do have a Twitch channel where we stream all sorts of content. So just look up the PlanesTalkers podcast channel on Twitch. Our handle there is PlanesTalkers Podcast. You can also follow me on Twitch at MindCrime73. Nick, take care and be ready Wednesday, man. We might need you. So.
Yeah, absolutely. If you'd rather, it's my turn to not be able to talk.
You
I just had 7-Up Zero Sugar. I didn't do anything with the sauce. I
should
swear
have
to God,
some sauce.
I should have some sauce. Jeez. Anyway, if you'd rather interact with us more in like a real-time fashion, you can join our Discord at discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. That's an HTTPS, so make sure you do it that way.
Right.
And if Twitter is more your speed, you want to follow the show that way. Our handle on Twitter is at PlanesTalkerPod.
And you can follow me on Twitter as well at WR Benson. I don't tweet all that often. But just you can go to facebook.com/Planestalker. That's our main Facebook page there. It's not Planestalkers because somebody took that from us. So it's just facebook.com/Planestalker. Like and follow the page. Anything we do, we've gotten pretty good about being cross-platform. So when we go live, we're going live on Twitch. We're going live on Facebook. We're going live on YouTube. When we make an announcement, it tends to go across all of our stuff. So you can follow us all over the interwebs and get all of your Planestalker needs. So go check that out. The Planestalker Playcast is on Wednesdays. We do play Paper Commander. I'm not sure what deck I'm playing this week. I've thought about trying my Negan deck out just for kicks.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I don't think it's ready for prime time yet, though. So we do tune in for that Wednesday nights. We play Paper Commander. We're in leagues now. We're in season 2. So I'm in second place. I'll be back in first this week. So tune in Wednesday night around 7 Eastern, usually between 7 and 7:30. Sometime in there we start rolling. And we'd love to see you there. So again, Wednesday night.
And finally, you can send us emails if you have questions about or suggestions for a topic that we can cover for the show, or even just to say, hey, let us know what's going on. You want to send an email to the main podcast that will go to both of us. The address for that is podcast@planestalkerspodcast.com. If you want to email us individually, you can email Will. His address is will@planestalkerspodcast.com. And then you can email me, and my address is aramis@planestalkerspodcast.com.
Absolutely. And I think somebody actually did email us, so I'm just trying to go find that real quick. Because I think, we do tend to read anything you guys send us. So, hold on, let me real quick just see if somebody sent us one here. Anchor. It might have been 2 weeks ago here. Pretty sure somebody emailed us about ideas about Commander, which is funny because we're a standard podcast, but we play a lot of Commander. Oh, Jamie Dixon, yeah. So yeah, Jamie sent this in to us on Wednesday, 2/17. So sorry, it's taken us a bit to read this. He said, "Good afternoon, lads. I'm just wondering if you guys would discuss card evaluation more, especially in casual formats, or even deck ideas or themes for the players who are disenfranchised or just not wanting to spike tournaments and have a night in with friends when it's safe to do so. What strategies are not fun to play against? Control, always control.
If you're casual,
or prison,
or mill.
Control, prison, or mill. What's fun to play against? Aggro. Aggro's always fun. Mid-range is always
Mid-range combo.
What power level of cards should you use? Can natural deck builders abuse their talents, or should additional handicaps be imposed on those more adept at their craft? Listen, everybody's net decking, Jamie. Let's be honest. Everybody's net. Even the people that are like, I don't net deck. Bullshit, you net deck. I have been playing EDH over webcam, and I have been unbeaten for 3 weeks now in my play group. Jamie, challenge accepted. Feel free to come on over here. We'll let you play against Steve. It'll be the funnest night ever. It's getting frustrating because I keep swapping out my decks and I get the same results. This is an issue as I don't care for winning as much as everyone having fun. Boy, you and Steve really do need to hang out more, because I think he just cares about winning as much as... No, he's one of the best at making sure everybody's having a good time, but he also wants to kill your face off. I love Steve. My friends are tilted that even in the arch enemy scenarios our games turn out to be, I still come out on top. Did you find that? It's from 217? It should be.
I'm reading it.
Yeah. I play mono white T-Shar Kark clan. You playing Ironworks? Yeah, no wonder they're mad.
Yeah, Ironworks eggs decks are not. Yeah.
This deck gets insane value from the graveyard, often recurring cards that return artifacts to my hand, and I sacrifice them to draw cards. Selfless Spirit is an MVP against aggro decks.
Because it makes everything indestructible.
Yeah, I have Rashmi Telepathy Control, cast Telepathy, and then I have perfect information on my opponent's hands, and I can line my board wipes, removals, and counter magic.
You're wondering why you're winning. And we're not honestly not trying to make fun of you, dude.
No,
but for sure, if you have all the answers, of course you're going to win.
No, don't get me wrong. Your friends should be like trying to build graveyard hate. Like there is tons of graveyard hate. Torment's Crypt. What's the Ley Line of Sanctity? Bajuka Bog. Like there's plenty of ways to take care of your graveyard. Huh?
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Oh, rest in peace would be ideal.
Well, I mean, Stony Silence would do really good against his deck too.
Yeah. What's the one that puts everything in the graveyard going forward? It's not Rest in Peace, I thought. Or is it Rest in Peace? I'm thinking Path Exiled. Yeah. So, and he's like, my pet deck is Endrick Sar Altars, Phyrexian and Ashnaughts. It's a mid-range deck that plays fair. It sacrifices the tokens or blocks to either make mana or draw cards. Deck finds a loop where I have a synergy that lets me draw my deck and an aristocrat my opponents out. I cast and sacrifice Oldemog and shuffle the yard back into the deck to stop.
When someone says they're playing fair Magic, that means they're not adding extra mana. That means they're not drawing extra cards. They're basically just draw, play, go. Draw, play, go. They're not generating insane value. If you're running off Phyrexian and Ashnod's Altar, you're not playing fair.
Jamie,
you're generating value.
Jamie, I take it back. You're not invited to our Wednesday playcast. I'm kidding. You totally should come. I would honestly, that is a game I would sit out. I would be like, nah, you and Steve go at it. Steve, bring your EDH deck. Let's see what happens. He's like, I have Saheeli Ray Lattice. I play a ton of mana rocks. Use Saheeli to give my spells affinity for artifacts and cast draw X spells for X equals 15. What would you guys recommend to give the fellas a win or two to keep them playing? Just go buy a precon. That would be your best bet.
Play a precon and just basically swap out the mana base.
Right. Precon, swap your mana base. If you want it to be, you seem like a combo / like it broken, and you kind of want to have a win con that's broken.
I mean, Commander's the format of broken shit.
Yeah.
It is.
What's the one there that I play?
Omnath?
No.
Atraxa?
Not Atraxa. Not. You know what? Don't be like that. Jeez. Calamax would be a fun deck that you could probably have some fun with.
Yeah, given the way that he plays so far, I could see that becoming absolute hell for the rest of the table.
Well, no, because again, if he's only swapping out the mana base, okay, he's not putting in crazy shit, then it takes him a while to get there.
But isn't Calamax the deck that has the Fierce Guardianship?
Yeah.
Or is that that's the different one? That's the egg tender person.
Yeah. So I mean that would be my suggestion is take a precon, not one of the ones that have been coming out lately. Like grab an Ikoria precon. And by precon, don't grab a Traxa.
If you can find it.
Yeah. So, but yes, guys, we read everything you send us. Jamie's one of our old-time listeners, one of my favorites. I'm going to let him know we read his stuff on air and gave him some advice. I would love to have him sit in. I think he's in London, though. I think he's 5 hours ahead of us. So, yeah.
That'd be a late night for him.
Yeah, it would. But he'd probably... How bad do you want to see him play Steve, though? I kind of want to see it now.
I kind of want to see it too because I know he would either destroy us or or he's just
I'll take the destruction. Honestly, I'd probably be like, turn 3, concede. Aramis would be like, concede. You two fight it out.
I mean, I'd have to play Zakama, right?
Oh, God, yes. I'd have to probably play Omnath. I think Omnath is replaced Atrax as my best deck. So, I don't know.
I mean, if he's willing to take Thursday off
Yes.
from work, if he's working, and he wants to sit in for a late night, grab a couple energy drinks, I will be more than happy to have him on and just have him gunsling just to see what the hell he's bringing to the table.
And that would be, too. I'd be like, Anthony, you're sitting out. Because I got it. Steve's been waiting. This would be a present to Steve. Because Steve's been waiting for this. Like, Steve's got that broken mana base of his. He's got the original duels and stuff.
He wants another Titan to come in and
Yeah,
fight.
I honestly,
so me and you are sitting there going, "Wow, look at that!" and just try not to get stepped on.
Yeah, it's seriously. I would totally be all about that. I mean, I'll make a fun of it while we're playing it and be like, "What the hell is this? This is ridiculous." But on the inside, I'm like, okay, so yes, so send us emails. We will read them on the show. We also want to remind you guys to check out iTunes reviews. We really need those. They help the show out a ton. Listen, if you don't want to be a patron, I get it, okay? I understand. This is a weird time. And, some people just, they're like, I ain't paid for my podcasts. All right, I get it, okay? I understand. I'm with you. I understand it. I mean, I pay for podcasts. I'm patronizing a few. But, hey, to each their own. The ones I don't patronize, though, but the ones I listen to, I make sure I go through iTunes and I leave them a 5-star review. Why? Because it helps bring more eyes to their show and it helps expand their show's audience. So we want to ask each of you, if you're listening to this and you enjoy the show, but you don't want to be a patron, or even if you do, go to iTunes, leave us a review. But Will, I have an Android phone. I don't have iTunes. Well, you probably have a Windows computer. No, I don't. Well, shit. But for those of you that do, just download iTunes to your Windows machine and go there, look up our podcast in the store, and leave us a review. 5 stars. I read every single one on the show. One guy gave us a 4-star. I talked him into a 5. I'll do it to you too. So, but 5-star reviews are actually the most helpful. If you can't leave us one, then email us. Let us know why. We can make changes to anything. I understand sometimes we wax off topic, but so I really, again, want to just say thank you and remind you guys as well that I do host another podcast. It deals with the television show DC's Legends of Tomorrow. It's called Legends TV Talk. Look up facebook.com/Legends TV Talk. Obviously, we're on hiatus right now. Flash just came back, but Legends won't be back probably till sometime this summer. So, but we do some other things in there with Minecraft and stuff, but we're running a bit over. So at this point,
End step.
we just did that.
We did.
We want to say thank you guys for listening tonight. It's really good to be back. It's good to be behind the mic. We'll be back next Monday, as always, hopefully, to talk about all the new Magic news. We'll be back Wednesday night to deal with the Playcast, where it should be Aramis and I and 2 other listeners. If you want to join us, please send us an email. We'd love to have you. But for Aramis Perez, this is Will Benson saying thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of the show tonight. And we want to remind you to keep some of your mana untapped because you never know when you'll need it. Take care and have a great week. Bye-bye. Yeah. Yeah. Went a little Will Smith at the end there. Oh shit, I gotta turn my Mac on.
Oh, Jesus H. Christ. Episode 91.
Episode 91. Almost to 92, which is the year I graduated high school.
I was
also
10.
the year you were born. I can't hear you because I pulled out my headphones. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna make some loud noises. Knock things over, probably. Still can't hear you. Still haven't put my headphones back in. Nope, still not hearing you. This is great content. Best content ever.
I wish I was born in 92.
I'm back.
I wish I was born in 92. Then I'd be 10 years younger.
Oh, 92. was a great year.
I was 10.
I was 19, 18.
I remember playing in the driveway of one of my friends' houses. We were pretending we were in the Olympics.
Really?
Yep, we were doing races, and we had stopwatches and stuff. And I remember drawing the Olympic flag and everything. It was cool.
Well, yeah, because I think 92 was the last year they did both Olympics in the same year. Then they started moving to...
That only ever really happened like once or twice.
No. For the very long time, the Winter Olympics and Summer Olympics were both in the same year. And then they moved them in 92 to 94 was the first Winter Olympics because they used to always be at the same time. All right, let's export this.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. 92. Yeah, because they went 88, 92, then 94.
Right. And it was, you know what? I get it.
Yeah, more exposure. I remember CBS's Winter Olympics theme. I always thought that was really epic.
Yeah.
I found it on YouTube. It was pretty cool.
All right, let's see here. Network. MacBook Air. Oh, good show tonight. Little badly.
Good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Wow. We had a lot to catch up on. Holy cow.
Yeah. We did a pretty good job.
Export. Wait.
Yeah.
I did export project as audio file, right?
Dropbox is uploading. That should be done in a minute.
Oh, all right. Sweet. So I have to spend tomorrow. One of my wife's students has an audition for, Proctor's every year does this big, area high school, almost like Tony Award type thing. But obviously this year, musicals aren't happening.
Yeah.
So they're happening, but they're not. It's all virtual and stuff. So one of my wife's vocal students, you have to send in an audition tape for this. So, most people are sending in just standing there with their phone and recording. I'm like, no. We'll hook the mics up, one of our Yetis, and we'll hook it up to my laptop. We'll have my wife record the video, and then I'll marry the audio to the video, but the audio will be much more cleaner and much more, so.
Yeah, actually sound decent.
Yeah. So we're going to do, I have to do that though. That's a lot of audio editing. So tonight I'm actually going to mix this down so that I don't have to deal with it. You're still on. I thought you ended, so I left. Yes, Nick. We hang out afterwards. We make sure all the files are uploaded and stuff, and then we've
only been doing this for 2 years.
Yeah. Where the hell have you been? Oh, there's a kitty. I kicked the kitty. He's hanging by my feet. He's getting long and stupid now.
Oh, he's at that stage.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna crash into stuff because I'm dumb.
Yeah, that's basically it too. He's like, I'm gonna crash into stuff. Then he'll walk up to Tyrion, and it's weird because Tyrion's usually very, very aggressive and very kind of a dick. But he's so gentle with the kitten. The kitten will sit there, jump on his head, and poop on his face, and Tyrion's like, you little scamp.
It's like, I'll kill you in your sleep later.
Yeah. Well, it's like I just sit there and go, oh my God, eventually, we're going to get Tyrion fixed next week. It's if we didn't get him fixed, when Scooter grows up to be an adult, Tyrion be like, and now you must die.
We've reached the age. There can only be one.
So, playing Call of Duty. Well, you said duty. Well, Nick, listen, man, make sure you're on deck for Wednesday. We don't know what's going to happen, man. I think Scuba was thinking about trying to play. I know Steve wants to play, but Anthony's the champ, so Anthony gets first dib.
Kind of has to play.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to play this week. I mean, I just don't think my Negan deck's up to speed yet.
I might unveil the gauntlet again next week.
Ooh, your God Tribal deck?
No, making you guys roll a dice to figure out what deck I play. I really don't know.
I've thought about doing Calamax too, because I think that can hang a little bit more with his deck. Anthony, we have to. We kind of overlook Anthony a lot, but damn, if you let those swords get out too long, I need a deck with more artifact hate.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, I am not playing Traxos.
Right. Well, I've thought about playing a Traxa just to be sure, you have big creatures, but so do I.
Yeah.
and
Anna
might
won't
have
even play.
lifelink.
Maybe Anna won.
Yeah. You could play jail. You could play your prison deck.
I just did though.
Oh, that's true. And we found ways around it.
Well, I mean, I was mana screwed for a while too.
Yeah. Freaking Nick in that Omnath deck.
Well, it was the Valky.
No, the Valky deck, yeah, which I've thought about trying to put together a Valky deck.
Don't you dare.
Why?
That card is so annoying. It's because you have to focus. You basically have to focus everything on the Planeswalker, and it's just like, oh god.
Yeah, you do, and you focused me, which was uncalled for. No, it's not, Nick. That card is busted. And to be
You're not
fair,
casting it fairly.
to be fair, we didn't focus on you so much as we just kept wiping the board. We focused on everybody.
You know, we were killing Tybalt. We weren't killing you because
How
we had to
many
do everything to
times
kill
did we?
Tybalt.
We had to have like 6 board wipes.
There were 10 or more that were cast that game because Nick cast 3 of mine. I cast like 4. I know
I cast
Anthony
2.
you cast 2, Anthony cast 1.
I didn't. I got Doomscar out and I got Ondu Inversion out.
Yeah, Nick played like Plague Wind, Kaya's Wrath, and Hour of Revelation.
Oh,
I played Wrath of God, Herter's Wrath. Geez, what else? There were a couple more, and then I had one when I died. I had one more on top of my deck, but then again, the deck does have 30 Wrath in it.
Yeah. No, you focused on me. Then I decided to board wipe. No, you didn't, Nick. We had to focus on you. You were playing. Here's the thing, Nick. If you play again with that deck, you are enemy number 1. We don't care. Like, here's the thing. Aramis was playing his prison deck, and we still focused on you.
That to tell you power level.
Yeah.
But not necessarily raw power, but potential power.
Yeah. Like,
When
I'm sorry. Tybalt's annoying.
Well, and here's the thing. Here, when Tybalt comes down, that means you're playing all of our decks.
Yeah.
You're playing all of our stuff against us. That ain't cool.
We don't like it. You know what? I'm banning Tybalt from our play group. You can play Valky, but you can't play Tybalt.
There you go.
My deck isn't even that good. Yeah, I know, Nick. Could you imagine if you had the card pool we have in that deck? Oh, I have the card pool, and I have that card.
Don't you dare.
What? Me? Go G on you?
Don't you dare. Because you know what's going to happen.
Come on, you've got it too. I'm surprised you haven't put that together yet.
I have no interest in putting that deck together.
You have that card, though. You opened a Valky, didn't you?
Yeah, I have my Rakdos deck already, though. I like Anya better.
Yeah, I don't blame you. All right, Nick, take care, buddy. We'll see you soon. Have fun at school. We miss you, man. All right, so you said it's up in Dropbox? All right, I'll log into
it's all
the
set.
Mac. I'll log into the Mac and get that done. All right, guys, we're going to stop the stream now so I can edit this down and try to get it up tonight. We will catch you guys later. Anything else you want to say there, Hermes, before Wednesday?
Nope, just hang out after the log off for a second.
I will. All right, guys, we're gonna see you guys on Wednesday. So Wednesday night around 7-ish Eastern, and don't forget this week is daylight savings time. We all spring ahead, and dear God, I hate my life on the Monday. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Bye bye.